on this is day and time set for PCC. We respectfully request that to set this for exam.
I have a community corrections bond violation.
Yes, Your Honor. I have discussed that matter with my client, and we are also ready to address that as well with the court.
Why don't you address that before I set it for anything?
Pardon me, Your Honor?
Why don't you address that before I set it for anything?
Absolutely, Your Honor. So I did speak about this with Mr. Obich. He represented to me that he did not report to community corrections since his release from the jail. Upon his release from the jail, he did not receive any bond violation or bond paperwork or anything like that, and was not aware that he had to report. Upon finding out that he did have to report last Thursday, May 23rd, he states that he called community corrections and spoke to someone.
From what date is he saying he didn't know he had to report?
When he was released from the jail, I believe on the 11th, Your Honor, is that correct?
I believe it was a Saturday. No.
On the 11th of May?
I believe so, Your Honor. And he said he did, upon his release, didn't receive paperwork and then had not reported at all until May 23rd. He states that he did call and speak to someone. He does not recall the name. And they told him to just keep calling his number every day, which his number is 5. And since last Thursday.
So why did he start calling on the 23rd?
Because I called him and told him that a warrant may be on its way and to get in contact with community corrections immediately, which he did. He represented to me that he did call community corrections. They advised him to continue calling every day with his number. He represents to me that he has been doing so every day that they have been open since last Thursday. He states to me that his number is 5 and that number 5 has not been called since last Thursday. He did also state that he is 1,000% ready, willing, and able to test. He is willing to do so right now. He just did not realize that upon his release from the jail that he had to go do so. So he actually is.
So he was testing before.
Yes. And then he
put in jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
Comes out of jail. So explain to me the rationale of why testing wouldn't have continued.
Because he has another pending case, Your Honor, in circuit court with other counsel, and to my understanding, bond conditions have changed in that case.
Had what?
Had changed in that case. And Mr. Obich represents to me that he thought they had changed in this case as well, and that he was no longer required to test, but he is ready to test today.
So in his circuit court case, he's not required to test anymore?
That's what he states to me is that.
Can I speak? So I'm confused because I have these different court dates, but they're trying to put it under a global resolution. So I don't understand where and when or what I'm supposed to follow on, because sometimes I go to this court and it's like everything's under a global resolution. So I'm really confused on where I even begin to what I'm supposed to do.
Why was he remanded on the circuit court case?
I don't know, Your Honor. He has private counsel.
His positive cocaine test.
Yeah.
And he is required to test in his circuit court. Those conditions have not changed. He has the exact same bond violation report in that file that he has in this case.
I was unaware that, Your Honor. He does have private counsel in that matter. I was just told that his bond conditions had been changed by Judge Slay at some time.
The only thing that changed was his bond. He was remanded. But the second he posted that, his conditions immediately back into place.
Yes, and I think that. Oh, sorry, Your Honor.
Sorry.
Oh no.
And he does have the same failure to test and correction.
So as it sits right now, he's in violation not only of this case but also circuit court case.
I don't know for sure. I would presume that may be coming.
It's there. I'm reading the community corrections bond violation sent to Judge Slay in his circuit court case, and it was sent to Judge Slay on May 23rd. He is in violation of the circuit court bond conditions.
Mr. Obich states to me that when he was incarcerated after his remand, he had another court date. And when he was released on that case, he did not understand that he was supposed to report to community corrections from his release from the jail.
When was that?
That his release from the jail, Your Honor?
Yeah.
I believe May 11th. Mr. Obich does not remember when his last court date was in circuit court, so I can't speak to that. Our request at this time, if Your Honor would allow, is to allow him to go test right now. He represents to me that he would test clean, and we would ask the court to re-refer him to community corrections. And he, frankly, Mr. Obich did say he would be willing to go there every day to test if need be. He's been appearing for court regularly, hasn't missed a court date, and he just asked that the court allow him to go test.
When is
today.
he supposed to next appear in front of Judge Slay?
The 28th.
June 28th. Your Honor.
We're not setting this for anything. He's gonna have to try to figure out a way. If he's got private counsel, you're gonna have to contact them to try to do that. I'll adjourn his probable cause conference to June 6, 2024 at 9 a.m. But at this time, the defendant's bond is revoked. Defendant's remanded. Go with him now. Your name, sir?
Devin Miller.
All right. And Ms. Mahmood, is she here or no?
Yes, she is here, but I think she's having some difficulties right now.
Your Honor, we haven't received a payment since the last time we were here. It's $26.65 total.
And sir?
$25.65, I'm sorry.
25.
So I recently just received employment, so been waiting for my check to come between that time.
But it's not going to be. I have a note that $1,000 was going to be paid. I don't know why.
$1,000?
Okay. Well, how would you intend on getting this paid off, sir?
So I don't get paid until the 28th. And
Until the what?
the 28th of June.
Okay, but all right, let's take that. And how much would you be willing? How much are you going to be able to pay?
So with me working weekly, I get paid $5.60 on a full
On a full check, you get how much?
$5.60 minus tax.
Because I don't know how we're going to do this if she's not here, because I'm about to, I mean, my inclination is to issue a judgment.
Well, we've been having some difficulties in being uncooperative.
Pardon?
She was being uncooperative. I would hope that you don't throw it out because I'm really trying.
She was being uncooperative.
I apologize for interrupting. I have an IM out front, but she doesn't want to come into the courtroom because of a contact order between her and her husband.
We don't have one, sir, Your Honor.
Are you her husband?
Yes. May I explain?
Please.
Okay, so recently she's having a spat with me. She's just upset that she wanted me to apologize for a misunderstanding that we had before coming here to court. When she got verbally volatile with me, so she decided to.
Okay. That's fine. Is there a no contact order between the two of you?
No, there's absolutely not. She probably just said that just to make things worse on my end.
Well, they couldn't get much worse.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not really sure. She can be very vindictive.
Okay, so let's not say that out loud.
Okay.
Can you go down the hall and
Sign her into Zoom?
no? She's here. Yeah, well, ask her if she's going to participate in the hearing. You have one case, Mr. Friedman. Just say it.
I had I did have one recently, Your Honor, in 14A1 or 14B, I mean, and the person was adamant that he could not pay. And the judge finally said, well, okay, but you're going to have a judgment. And guess what happened 3 days later?
Yes. Hey,
So I know that advice of right says you don't have to have a judgment to get assistance, but sometimes it assists.
sometimes it helps. Yep.
Is Ms. Martin working?
She receives assistance. So. I recently started.
Pardon?
I recently started working.
Yeah, but does she work?
She doesn't work now, but she's disabled.
Disabled.
Yes. So she receives it.
I thought she was getting I didn't mean over, but I thought she was getting a job down the street.
Oh, yeah, she was trying to get a job at Insomniac Cookies. She has yet to hear from them. But I was able to obtain employment and I started working this week.
Where'd Alan go? All right. There's a total amount of 2565 owing. Was there a method by which you were intending on getting this paid? Or do you know?
I'm gonna be very honest with you, Judge.
Okay.
I have no intention of paying one penny. No intention of paying 1 penny. I've been with Barnes and Barnes since 2021 in this place. I've been with Barnes and Barnes for about 6 years now. Before that, I was in different apartments with Barnes and Barnes. Before that, I've been in EMU since I was 16. Eastern Police, Ipsy Police, all y'all have just failed me. I've been begging Barnes and Barnes to fix my house for a simple fan for heat in the winter. I'm having to take money out of my pockets to keep myself fed. I would rather sleep in my car than fight for a house. I'd rather win a settlement than fight for this and give my last tears and blood, sweat, and tears into this. My husband doesn't understand how to speak to me nicely. That's why we're not standing here together. And I'm not gonna stand next to a man who doesn't know how to open the right door instead of the left door and snap at his wife. I'm not going to do that. I walked out because in March I was in jail for beating him up. I'm not gonna stand here and go out of my character and act irate when I don't want to fight for something that's mine. That's not, he claims that it's his more than mine. I brought him into my house. I gave him my car. I gave him the clothes on his back. I'm not going to fight for this anymore. I'm exhausted, tired, and hopeless. Ipsy Police was in my house today at 5 a.m. when I asked for harassment. I filed a PPO. I'm getting no help. I'm hopeless, frustrated, and exhausted, and I'm done.
Okay. I just had to make sure, which is why I wanted you in the courtroom, that I was going to find no tribal issue. I was going to issue a judgment to the plaintiff. And I just wanted to make sure that you understood what the court was doing, which is why I wanted you here. All right. So the court finding no tribal issue, I'll enter a judgment for possession and money. It looks like you requested. For possession and money as to both defendants. Total amount, the 25,600, that was inclusive of costs, correct?
Yes.
In the total amount of $2,565. And an order of eviction or writ will issue in 10 days. All right, thank you.
Sorry, could you say that again? I speak 3 different languages. I'm not American, I'm British. So I didn't understand one word that came out of your mouth. I'm sorry, sir.
The whole thing?
You're throwing legal words at me, sir. I'm mentally,
Ma'am,
I'm in
all right.
middle school. I didn't pass, I
Okay.
speak 3 different languages. I'm not educated.
Okay,
So I don't understand when you throw legal terms at me. I need to speak to me like a toddler. I would understand that better. Thank you.
I'm issuing a judgment. I'm signing a judgment, a piece of paper indicating that plaintiff, your landlord, has the right to possession of the premises
Okay, so
unless $2,565 is paid prior to July 1st or by July 1st. If it's not paid by July 1st, they can then file for what's called a writ of restitution or an order of eviction to have you move. Either at that point, you can move by then or you can pay the money by then. If you fail to move, what will end up happening if they file that order of eviction, the court will sign off on it. And then what will happen is the sheriff, another police agency, or the sheriff's department or a court officer will show up and will, if you haven't vacated the premises, will remove you from the premises.
Yeah, and I know how the eviction process works. I just don't, I have lawyers in my family, but I'm more on the medical side rather than the lawyer side. But I appreciate all your help, and sorry
All right.
my husband and I aren't cooperating today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.